I'm Kim Kimbrough, the Sheriff of Clayton County. My team and I, we're hanging with Dr. Hendrix.
So what's your story?
Hanging with Dr. Hendrix, CCPS, we are getting to it. Obstacles do not exist like a drive through, we are getting through it. Set the limit for the clouds, so we fly high. We got twinkle, twinkle, big stars way up in the sky. Make sure that you salute us far away or nearby. 2 thumbs up and they soar when they fly. Clayton County, watch and see, no need to ask why. Cause we'll make it when we make it to the top, no lie. Kick it with motivation, so we keep determination. Spread it all across the nation that we are hot, so call occasion. Hanging with Dr. Hendrix, so I guess I'll see you tomorrow. Don't forget, I'm signing off, sincerely mulatto. Hanging, I'm hanging with Dr. Hendrix. Hanging, I'm hanging with Dr. Hendrix. Hanging with Dr. Hendrix. Hanging with Dr. Hendrix. Hanging with Dr. Hendrix.
Hi, and welcome to Hanging with Dr. Hendrix. Today's show is about saving our sons. It's no secret that we lose far too many of our potential male leaders to guns, gangs, and drugs. For those who manage to survive those pitfalls, a lifetime of brushes with the law and ultimately incarceration are their future. The victims of this epidemic are vast. Families lose sons, brothers, and fathers. More importantly, communities lose potential leaders to this vicious cycle that plagues far too many communities across the nation. In an effort to understand why we are losing so many of our young men in this community, I visited the Clayton County Jail with our superintendent, Dr. Heatley. Our goal was to gain insight into why some young men turn to crime rather than capitalize on their education. I could think of no better source to answer this question than former Clayton County Public School students who are now incarcerated. What we found is shocking, heartbreaking, and eye-opening. These are real stories told by young men who have succumbed to hopelessness and turned to alternative community and family structures for guidance. Burglary, rape, drugs, and gangs are some of their crimes. A lack of guidance, positive role models, and a supportive family structure seem to have played the greatest roles in their decision-making. Here are their stories in their own words.
First of all, Brian, tell me why you're locked up. Why are you incarcerated?
Well, I committed a crime, burglary, residential burglary. I entered a residence without permission, and they charged me with residential burglary, and I got sentenced to 5 years.
Like one day my friend came to my house, he was talking about how some guy had some stuff in his house, so I wasn't too, bro. I didn't want to, well, I really just went along with what he was saying. I was following him, but I wasn't thinking too bright, so he was just talking about how he had stuff and how we'll be able to take it to the store and get some money for it, and just, so I went along with it.
I just did what a person shouldn't supposed to do, really. I went and did a burglary, and I got caught with a burglary charge and trespassing.
So at that time, were you a leader or were you a follower?
Most of the time, I was just going without thinking, like, and first few times I was just, something told me in my head, like, not to do it. And went against that. I didn't listen to what was going on in my head and just went and did it anyway. Just, I want to say it wasn't peer pressure, just wrong choices.
People think it feel good because it's fast money. That's why people do it, because they think it's fast money. They think they can run to somebody's house or they can rob somebody that is quick money. But I don't think it's quick money, because as I realize now in here, people work hard for that. They work very hard, and I understand me. When I was little, I had got something stolen from me, so that really brought out the attention of me don't care and stealing from somebody else because somebody stole from me.
What was your family structure like at home?
I had support from everyone. My grandmother, she was a school teacher, graduated from college. My uncle, he graduated from college. My mom, well, she didn't graduate college. She didn't go to college, but she's successful. She works 2 jobs. She takes care of the elderly. So like, with her, she always told me the right thing. It's just me being me. I was hard-headed, didn't like to listen to too many people. Didn't want to hear what they were saying. My sister, she'd try to tell me the right thing, but she wasn't doing the right thing herself. So it made me look at her like, hey, how are you going to say, do this, but you're doing that the wrong way? I good structure. I had people to look up to, but I don't know. I just didn't.
When I was a kid, my dad, he was a real alcoholic, really bad. And at the age of 8, my dad was really into liquor real bad. And one day I was just in the living room, walking through the living room, and my dad, he was drunk. When I was 8 years old, he cracked my head open with a liquor bottle. And I got a scar on my forehead where he cracked my head open. I was 8 years old. I was a kid. I was like, well, what did I do to deserve that? You know what I'm saying? And he put my mom in a wheelchair. He pushed her down a icy hill, and she broke her leg. And after that, my dad, he pushed her into the bathroom sink and cracked her hip bone, and that put her in a wheelchair permanently.
Like you said, mom gonna always tell her baby that she need to do right, but we don't listen. My father, he wasn't there. He left me at a young age and slid in and out thinking he was gonna do things well, and still kept lying to me. Like, he was supposed to help me get out of here one time, but he lied to me. He didn't come show up, nothing. He didn't try to help me at all, nothing. So I realized that on my own, man, I had to help my own self and keep believing in God to help me out. But as for all, teachers always tell every kid they need to do right, but kids don't listen. And I was one of them kids that didn't listen.
Why? How do you not listen?
Hard-headed. For a young person to say that, hard-headed, man. Very hard-headed. I was very hard-headed. I wasn't listening. Didn't really want to listen to nobody, thinking that, oh, they telling them the same thing they tell everybody. It's just a lie. But now I realize, when you little, a lot of little kids make mistakes. But like you said, the reason why we doing the interview to help them stop. And before they get to a certain age to end up in here, I didn't mind doing it. I said yes, because that's a good thing to do, to help them not be in this situation, because as you look at it, it's a lot of us keep getting here, and it's young. It's young. It's not really people that's older than us. It's the 19, the 18, and 17-year-old that's in here. It's a lot of us.
How do you feel at this point, knowing that you're locked up while your fiance is going through, you know, carrying the child and all those things? How do you feel not being able to be there to support, to protect, all those things that come with being the man? How do you feel about that?
I feel sad, man. I feel very hurt inside, man, because I think of him every night, man. So, you know, I feel very hurt, very hurtful for real, man. I could have did better. I would have did better, man, but I messed up, man. You know, sometimes you got to deal with it. But, you know, I told her I'm not coming back. And I promise that. I can't come back, man.
Growing up, you know what I'm saying, without my mother and in defects, you know what I'm saying, and moving me from home to home, I never felt like I had a family. So I turned to other things, like the streets, you know what I'm saying, and you know, I got involved with gangs and hanging out with them because, you know, I was looking for a family that was going to be there for me, you know, somebody that was going to, you know, show me how to become a man. And I really, growing up, I couldn't understand why I was going through what I was going through and what I did wrong. But at the same time, I understood that the problem was there. I mean, I had to deal with it, you know what I'm saying? So I turned to other things, trying to take my mind off the problems that I had, like smoking, weed, drinking, you know, just committing stupid stuff like, beating up on people, stuff like that, directing my anger from my problems that I've had in the past as a kid toward other people.
Really, I wouldn't say like it was a full effect on me, but after my granddad passed in 2006, I really just had the mind state of like, I don't care what nobody say, like, 'cause that was my only father figure, male figure that I really looked up to, 'cause my dad was never around. So after he passed, I started smoking marijuana young, smoking cigarettes, and like eventually short after that, I started drinking. So I just really just had the mindset of like, no one can tell me nothing, just I don't want to hear it.
So, and I'm sure your relationship was close. You probably did a lot of things together. How would he feel knowing that his grandson was incarcerated at this time under the circumstances, the burglaries and all the other things that you've done? How do you think that he would feel?
I think he'd be pretty upset, 'cause just knowing how it was, how much time we spent together. I say he been through a few things in his life, and he's always tried to direct me away from the trouble. He raised my mom to like be the woman she is, to raise 2 kids by herself for 19 years.
I know she'd be disappointed at the choices that I've made, because I know she wouldn't want me to be where I am today. She would want me to be other places, and keeping other people like that are around me, like younger people around me, helping be a positive influence on them and stuff like that. She wouldn't want me to be around other people giving off negative vibes, telling other people, hey, well, hanging out with the wrong people. Because at the time, I knew my mom loved me, I knew she cared, and she tried to do the best she could.
Describe jail for me. It's got to be a lot different than just being able to exist with your regular liberties and freedoms. What's jail like from day to day?
It's not fun, you know what I'm saying? Having to wake up every morning, they tell you when you gotta wake up, when you can eat, and stuff like this, but you have to follow the rules. You have to do what they say in order to get out, and have your freedom. But as far as that, you got different people, different personalities that act different ways. You got some grown men that act like kids, run around yelling, screaming, banging on the door, and they just don't know how to act. And then you got some guys, they try to do their time other ways. They sit back, they meditate by themselves. They're really thinking about what they did, you know what I'm saying, as far as that. But then you got other people that go around creating problems, that instigate stuff and want to get stuff started just because that's how they want to do their time. That's how they pass their time. They like to see other people fight, other people do wrong stuff, and they get a kick out of it, they get a laugh out of it.
This junk is not fun. It really not. And then for them to go back to home and tell their friends and stuff that, oh yeah, I went to jail, this, that, rah, 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 that's not fun at all. You just make yourself like a fool, because most of them people that haven't went to jail, they probably told you that they went to jail, they lied to you, you went to jail, they looking at you like, man, he went to jail for real, and he thought it was fun. It's not fun at all. Not fun to be away from your family, to be away from your kids, for people that got kids out here to be away from your family and stuff, it's not fun. Not fun, because how it feels for you to wake up in the morning, or your daughter or your son wake up in the morning and be like, Dad, you're not there. Come on, how you think it feels? That's what I'm trying to say. So for kids to go and do that, that's not fun at all. It's not fun at all.
What are your plans for the future? Because that's still at an age where you can set aside some plans and chase some dreams. What is your plan?
Well, when I get out, I've been talking to my godmother. She comes up here and visits me, and they got my church that I go to. They got a program they're starting. They got the female Potter House for abused kids and women and stuff, and they're starting a male's Potter House for men that are getting out of prison, that need a place to stay, to help them get on their feet, and stuff like that, help them get a job, and stay in a Christian-based, thing to keep negative, influences. Keep you in a positive setting, stuff like that. And I'm gonna try to do that when I get out, and try to really do the right thing and stay away from negative people that are gonna influence me the wrong way. Because I know the choice is ultimately up to me, but a lot of people don't understand that peer pressure is tough. And when you get around people that that you have a, what do you call a relationship with, like a friendship, it's kind of hard for you to say, nah, man, I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to try to stay away from my old friends that I thought were my friends, you know what I'm saying, that are going to influence me wrong, you know what I'm saying, and just try to do the right thing, get a job, you know what I'm saying, get a place to stay, go to work, go to my church.
So your little girl grows up, let's say she's 12. You've gotten all of this behind you, but you still have the experience to draw from and share wisdom from, right? What do you say to her? What do you tell her in regards to her education, choosing her friends, doing the right thing? What kind of things would you say to her?
I would tell her, first thing I tell her, do not be a follower. There's a lot of people that be a follower. That's not good. See, me, I got in trouble by myself. So as me, I was born a leader, but at the same time, I just brought myself into wrong trouble. So as I tell her, it's always good to be a leader, never be a follower. Because when you be a follower, it gets you in situations like this. But I'm not trying to say that I was a follower. It's just that decision I made. And then somebody taught me as I was growing up that this is how you do to get fast money. But as I tell her, be a leader at all times. Then second reason, choose your friends wisely too.
If I'm 16 and you could tell me anything to prevent me from coming here, what would you tell me?
I'm sure most of you, you really don't like even people telling you what to do. Every day people have to tell you to make your bed. I'm sure you like change your own clothes. You wear 2 jumpsuits a week. They tell you when to eat. Really eat stuff you don't want to eat. It's really just not where you want to be. Stay out of here. It's not a good place. You have to buy things that it might not come. You can't go get taken care of when you actually want to. You have to wait for someone to come take care of you if you're sick. Really, it's not a place for anyone, truthfully.
My body's tired. I'm physically drained. I'm mentally tired. It's a strain. Keep in and out, in and out, in and out of jail. It is a strain on a young adult, on anybody. If you keep in and out, in and out, in and out, it's a strain. It messes with your thoughts, you know, and as far as your actions, you get out, and we use the jail term institutionalized. When you become institutionalized, this is all you know. Some people can't help it because it's all they know. I'm trying not to get like that because I wanna have people. I wanna have my own family. I wanna have people around me that love me. I don't want to keep pushing people away no more. I don't want to push the loved ones that are around me that are encouraging me to do right. I don't want to keep pushing them away from me. I want people around me that love me constantly around me. Because when you have people around you that constantly love you, they constantly give you, you know, advice. You know what I mean? And wisdom. Hey, you know, you shouldn't do that. And now that I think about it, I'm gonna sit down and really think about, hey, well, was that the right thing for me? Is this gonna be the right action or the right, you know, decision to make? And ask your loved one's opinion on your thoughts. You know, it's always nice to ask, you know, hey, you know, I was thinking about doing this. You know, do you think that's right? You know what I'm saying? And if you got other people around you and they're giving their opinion, then you can process all those opinions and find out which one's, you know, more appropriate for your actions or your situation that you're in. You know, and when I get out, you know, and stuff like that, I'm gonna try to get on my feet and stuff like that and go back to the juvenile facilities that I was locked up at, like Milledgeville, YDC, Clayton County, which is Martha Glaze now. You know, go back to facilities and preach, you know what I'm saying, and minister to other people that are locked up, as far as on, you know, use my story as like a inspiration to help them.